everybody, and welcome to the Moving the Needle YouTube series. I'm Gaynor Meilke, and I'm the owner of Charisma Inc. We're a strategy and digital marketing agency that serves the accounting profession. And I'm joined by John Higgins.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. And as Gaynor said, my name is John Higgins, and I'm basically with Higgins Advisory is an organization that helps CPA firms to understand and leverage emerging technologies. So very excited to be with Gaynor working on this YouTube series.
Yes, and John and I met probably almost 10 years ago through some work that John was doing with CPA crossings, and then now he is a educator and trainer and thought leader with many of the state societies serving accounting firms, and he has very deep expertise in technology. And so he and I decided that we wanted to create a YouTube channel that really demystified a lot of the technologies and things and solutions that firms need to actually move the needle as opposed to just reading about trends. So John, did you have anything to add to that?
Well, just that, I've been working with the CPA technology for a long time, and I've seen a lot of changes in the marketplace. And, one of the things that I constantly observe is there's just so many different ways to adopt technology. And it's just very challenging because it's easy to go down the wrong direction with any particular technology. So to the extent that Gaynor and I can help you all make some of those decisions, then I'm really excited about, putting these YouTube presentations together.
So our first YouTube episode, we thought we'd dive right into the heart of a trend that has emerged over the past couple of years in the accounting profession and is not going to go away and not going to slow down, and that is AI. And we wanted to kind of give the big picture today from John's perspective on the technical side, and my perspective was working with firms and also some of the research and solution providers who are helping to bring AI more into the mainstream, into a usable format that actually will have an impact on firms beyond ChatGPT. So that's sort of where we kind of saw ChatGPT explode across the planet, but obviously it's not an accounting specific application. So John, from your perspective, what are you seeing as the big picture of AI in accounting right now?
Yeah, so as I kind of mentioned, I've spent my career really helping the CPA profession to learn about and learn how to apply emerging technologies. And so I've seen a lot of them. Cloud computing was one of the biggest ones that took many years to adapt. And so when ChatGPT came on the scene, which is November 30th of 2022, it just kind of took the world by surprise. And as Gaynor said, around the planet. When I think back to that day with ChatGPT, it's really the first time in one day where we had some of the most powerful technology ever known to humanity released around the world for free, right? All you had to have is a device connected to the internet, which is certainly not everybody has that, but many, many people around the world have that. And it is a transformative technology. So when I first learned about it, I said, okay, this is my work, right? To learn about and help CPAs understand how to apply these technologies. So I really immersed myself in this AI technology, and specifically as we get into these conversations, we'll talk about generative AI, which is what ChatGPT is, and Google Gemini, and there's a number of them out there. But that's really, when people talk about AI today, that's really what they're focusing on. And so when you hear the term AI, it's like everybody has a different visualization when they hear that term. What does it mean? Some people are scared by it. Some people say, well, this could be really game changing for humanity, and everywhere in between. So that's one of the challenges at this point, is to help people understand it and demystify it. Use the word demystify, Gaynor. I think that's a great word, is just to help people understand fundamentally what it is.
And I think, first of all, I mean, AI, we just say those two letters like everybody knows what it is, but artificial intelligence. And for a lot of us, we've been exposed to and been using things with artificial intelligence in technology for, quite a long time. It's like when you've got forms that are pre-populated with data or receipt capture, using OCR and things like that. That's still part of AI, but what ChatGPT kind of unleashed is sort of taking some of the thinking out of some tasks in terms of, I know we do a lot of content, obviously, at Charisma Inc. And so how do you use ChatGPT to generate new ideas? It's almost becoming or it is a competitor to search engines as well. So that's something that we think about, but from an accounting standpoint, there are a lot of solution providers who have already incorporated artificial intelligence into their tools. And so I don't think it's something to be afraid of in a firm. I think it's something to be educated about so that you know when to use it, how to use it, how to frame it to your clients. Like, at what points do you run into compliance or legal issues? So those are all things that I know we want to talk about in some of the other episodes that we're going to do. But from your perspective, John,
Mhm.
if a firm is listening to this and really does want to start moving the needle, and I think from my opinion is like all firms need to start down the pathway of understanding how their firm is going to apply AI, because it's the ground floor right now. According to AICPA, only about 1% of accounting firms in the US are using AI meaningfully in their workflows. So basically, we have a level playing field here right now. Nobody's got this big advantage because they've been using AI for 10 years, but that's going to happen very quickly. So if you're not using AI and learning how to apply it in your firm now, you are going to be left behind like by leaps and bounds very quickly. And that's not like a scare tactic. It's just, technology advances. We went to the cloud. If you're not in the cloud now, it's like, you're left behind. It's a slow climb there, because other people are ahead of you. So from your perspective, how do you think firms should approach getting started with AI and learn?
Yeah, so I kind of compare AI, the evolution of AI, particularly again generative AI today, to like when electronic spreadsheets first came on the scene. And I go far enough that I was there when the electronic spreadsheet first came out. And when CPAs saw an electronic spreadsheet application, there was it was a no-brainer. It was very obvious that, wow, this is a game changer, because now instead of doing everything with pencil and paper and eraser and a 10-key calculator, I can build these really, simple to build, but I can also make them very sophisticated spreadsheets. So there was, really good enthusiasm and quick adoption of it. Then I compare that to cloud computing. Well, cloud computing, it wasn't quite as obvious early on about the true benefits of it to an accounting firm. And so in that case, cloud computing, I would say it took like a good 20 years to get the vast majority of the accounting firms to really understand it, appreciate it, and adopt it. But there was a long period of time where there was just, no, data privacy is too important. I don't understand this thing called the cloud. I'm not putting client data out there. And so that became an education thing. It just, the more CPAs learned about it, the more they said, okay, now I get it. This makes sense. So when we get to AI, I think it has the combination of the attributes of both the spreadsheet and the cloud computing model. And what I mean by that is people, when they see examples of how you can use AI to analyze a client tax return and make recommendations, they say, wow, that's really pretty cool. That's a game changer. That's a productivity booster. But then the other thing, then they start hearing about this, like things like AGI, artificial general intelligence, where the humanoid robots will have more collective intelligence than all humans put together. When you start hearing those stories, like, wait a minute, this is scary. I don't want to go there. And so back to then the question, Gaynor, is if I'm a leader of a firm today, I'm going to make sure that my team, my staff, is receiving education on this, not maybe detailed technical education, but awareness education, so they understand the basic concepts of how it works, and then ultimately how you can apply it in your accounting practice. So I think job number one is education.
Mhm. So as far as actually applying it in a practice, I know that there are many solutions that are already using AI. Like we've got, I'll just name a few. We are keeping, our YouTube very agnostic just because we want to provide objective information here. But, we've got, I know Canopy is using it. We've got Stanford Tax is using it. We've got, Bookkeep is using it. There's so many applications. There's Quadient's using it that have already incorporated it, and it just seems like a natural part of your workflow. You're not thinking, oh, this is AI and that this is scary, because it's baked into a trusted solution. And I think that's maybe even the second step is learning about why you would want to use technology to automate, and whether it has AI in it or not, like that, I think is irrelevant. I think what we're talking about is um, like very intentionally looking at what other AI tools can you use to take away some of the, mundane tasks so that you can then be more productive, more efficient, and move to that advisory level, like from an accounting practice standpoint, or scale, to scale faster.
Yeah, and I would recommend to our audience that kind of forget about the term AI, because everybody's using it, right? And when I'm talking to software developers, I say, okay, well, explain to me exactly. You say your product incorporates AI. Help me understand what that means. And it's really just the next generation of technology and innovation and automation. But when we talk about generative AI, I
Mhm.
kind of compare that back to the spreadsheet. When you learn about generative AI, it's a tool. Just like the spreadsheet's a tool for working with numbers, generative AI is a tool for working with words. And we're going to, as we go through this series of these chats, we're going to talk about specific applications, how you can put it to work in your organization. But one of my funniest stories or examples of this, kind of hype around AI, is I was watching a YouTube video and they were showing how at a I forget what the conference was, some kind of a consumer retail conference, and there was an exhibitor had a booth selling power or electric toothbrushes, and they had a big tagline on their booth that said "Powered with AI." Okay, so all right, I got a toothbrush now that's powered with AI. What does it remember exactly where to brush a little bit harder, a little bit longer? I have no idea, but so there's some hype in it, but we're going to help you understand as we go through this series specific ways you can put it to use, because it is. There's no question in my mind, it is a productivity booster. In my world, which is doing kind of what we're doing right now, Gaynor and I do a lot of presentations. I use generative AI all the time, and I can attest to the fact that it's increased my productivity easily 30% in the development of my presentations, developing my content. And not only am I getting more done quicker, but I believe the quality is higher because I have a greater resource to pull information from. And we're going to learn about that as we continue on with this series.
Mhm. So I think that's a good place for us to kind of put a pin on the big picture of AI. So our next chat will be more of a deep dive into what is generative AI and then how can you use it in your firm. So I think for as far as moving the needle on AI education, learning about what AI is, what it is not, what the limitations are, and then I think also looking at some of the tech that you're already using And wherever there's automation, that's a positive use of AI that you may not be aware of. So again, to John's point, like, if you're kind of have some trepidation around AI, I think just knowing that you're probably already using it with no ill effects is something of a confidence booster. And also that now is the time to start really thinking about how you can use it in your firm and have a plan for the next year, the next like 2 years to 5 years, so that you don't fall behind and you can, grow your firm the way you want using, AI as like one of those productivity enhancers.
Yeah, and in our series here, we'll definitely have a conversation about how to go about building your strategy, because that's definitely should be high on the radar.
Mhm. Definitely. Well, thank you for joining us, and thank you, John, for your insights, and we'll see you on the next Moving the Needle.
All right, thanks, Gaynor.
Thank you.